So I get this question all the time, and it's how do I get into FPV? What is my first drone that I should buy? And there are a lot of products out there, and there's a lot of different ways. But I fly every day, and I always suggest this because I think it's the best way to go about it. So you have two different ways you can go about this. You can go about this either the cheap route and you're not too sure if you want to get into it or not. You've been playing simulator for a while and you haven't bought a drone yet, and you're not too sure. You just want to dabble in it a little bit and see if that's the route you want to go. Or you're the person that's got the DJI drone, you've done simulator, and you're ready to actually get into it. You want to record videos, you want to get into it pretty deep. So the first budget option is you got your Tiny Hawk Freestyle 2. This thing you can pick it up for used for like $200. Don't be afraid to pick something up like this used because this thing is almost indestructible. I've seen I've seen a drone like this. My wife has flown it, and we had it in the living room. And I told her to go up with it, and she's bouncing it on the floor. The next thing you know, I tell her to give it a little bit more throttle, and she full throttles it into the ceiling with sheetrock falling out of the sky. So on this one right here, don't be afraid to buy it used at all because this thing is really, really durable. You can full throttle it in the ground, pick it back up, and use it. Even the props are durable on this thing. So if you want something that does a lot of tricks and that will get you into FPV, I would say go this route. I got two of them for $200, and it came with the goggles and the remote. And for $200 for one of these, you can't beat it. So the second route, if you know for a fact that you want to get into FPV, this is the second route. And the reason why I say that is a lot of people are going to tell you that this thing is fragile, don't get it, it's junk. Well, it's got a button on it, and it's called a pause brake button. So what you do on this drone is you're able to go up and get used to it, and when you feel comfortable, you can get into something else, and you already have the goggles and the remote for an actual drone like this. So what I would recommend on something like this is like you going up past the tree level and you're putting it in manual mode, and you're able to fly around and get used to it. Well, this thing has three different modes. It's GPS lock, hovering, and sport mode. And sport mode is pretty fun on this thing. And then you got manual mode, which is like acro, and you're allowed to do all the flips and tricks and all that. Now, this one here is just like a regular drone, a regular freestyle drone. It's just smaller. And here's the size comparison right here. But don't let this size fool you because this thing is a lot of power. The only downside to this one is you're not going to get recording with this one. This one is just something you're going to go out and have fun unless you buy other goggles. The goggles it comes with and the remote that comes with is cheap. But this thing is a lot of power, has a lot of power, and it's a lot of fun. So it's got three different modes also. It has uh, self-leveling angle mode. That means that you can push the stick all the way, one way or the other. And it doesn't matter how you push the stick on this one, it won't flip until you put it in horizon mode. Now, horizon mode is going to allow you to still have the self-leveling, but once you stick all the way over, it will flip in that direction. So the third one is not really a mode, it's just the normal drone itself, which is called acro. Acro allows you to do acrobatics. That allows you to do flips and rolls, but you have full control of the drone. And if you push your stick forward to level it out, you can't just let go. You got to pull your stick back to level out. So this drone allows you to go from beginner flight to advanced flight pretty quick. And I want to tell you, if you get used to flying this thing, you can fly just about anything. But the only downside of that to this drone, and why this is the cheap option, the goggles and the remote that you get with it, you're probably not going to use for your next drone. The goggles and the remote that you get with this one, you could definitely use with a new drone. So I'm going to take this off, hover it, show you what it does for a second. These batteries you have to charge on a charger that doesn't come with the kit. Or at least mine didn't come with a charger, so. But I've done that backwards. So don't do that. You always want to turn on your remote first, and then you want to plug in your drone. That way, if any interference comes in or anything, you already have control of your drone. All right. So this remote is not the one that comes with it. It comes with a remote kind of like this, but it's white. But we're just going to demonstrate it flying. So I'm going to put this in angle mode, and I'm just going to take off. And it's got nice, stable flight. And this is really good for beginners right here. But it also has good power to it too. So you're not buying something that's real cheap as far as performance goes. It has plenty of performance to it. It's not too loud, and it's something that you can fly around in your yard and be comfortable flying. And that's just in angle mode. Now this drone right here, you're going to bind this drone, which I already got my remote and everything on, and we'll show you what this drone does. And we're waiting for it to bind real quick. So it's bound. All right, so this one has GPS lock. So when you're using this drone right here, anybody can use it. A baby could fly this one. I'm not using the remote or anything. It's staying there by itself and hovering. I can come over here and push it, and it still stays in place. And it's got pretty good speeds too. So it's in normal mode right now. I'm going to put it in sport mode. So the reason why I say to use this drone, if you know for sure that you're going to get into FPV, this thing has sensors on it. And if you have it in normal mode, it's not going to allow you to really crash it. And it's going to give you warnings in your goggles. And it's going to show red blinking lights. So I'm going to do a flight in this, and we'll see exactly what it can do and record it. Sadly, I can do that with this one also. And I might actually add some footage on this one next. But we'll see some footage on this one right now. All right, guys, here we go. Alright guys, so as you seen on that footage, the last thing that I done there, the reason why it looked like it went nuts is I hit the brake button. I wanted you to see what it looked like whenever I was diving towards the ground and going to crash. I hit that pause brake button and it's almost like an oh crap button, because if you ever get in a situation where you're thinking oh crap, you hit that button and it will automatically recover itself within 3 to 4 feet. Alright, so I want to show you one more feature of this drone. First of all, it plugs up to your phone and you get a screen on your phone so people can watch you wherever you're at. So I not only have footage inside my goggles with all the telemetry and everything, but I also have footage on my phone. Now we're going to take off from this little pad here, and you can fly this line of sight, which is what I'm doing right now. So we're going to see where it lands. Alright guys, so all I'm doing is pressing this on the controller and we're going to see how close it gets to that pillar right there. It's doing everything automatically right now. Here, I'll pick you up and show you. I have no inputs on the controller. Now, I am going to keep my finger on this button just in case something doesn't go right. But a lot of times it goes right. There are some rare moments when it doesn't. So it's going to let me take over, but you see it was right above the pad there. That GPS is pretty dang close. I think it was recognizing it didn't want to land in that little pad. I have landed it on my car before, but you know, it pretty much explains itself why this one is worth getting. I've had this one for a very long time, and you see how long it flew. So let's get some footage on the Tiny Hawk Freestyle too.